Hello again, movie fans. It's been quite a while since I made an update for you guys. Christmas is come and gone, 2012 is over, and we are in 2013. This is my first update for the year, and it's time to check out some Blu-rays, but unfortunately I don't have any Blu-rays to share with you. Oh, no, wait. These. Okay, so today I have the Christmas haul to share with you all. And I've got 2 DVDs as well, some Steelbooks, and a lot of Arrow video stuff. So let's begin with the regular Blu-rays, and then we'll end it with the Arrow video stuff, I think. First up, I want to talk about a classic, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, a deluxe edition package. This is not a Blu-ray package, these are DVDs, but saw them cheap in the store and couldn't pass on them. Love these movies. I don't think they need much of an introduction. Great comedies from the 80s. Yeah, everybody knows Ghostbusters. If you haven't seen these already, shoot yourself and then go see the movies. But I thought it was some pretty cool packaging on these. Nice slimy cover here. And when you open it up, you've got some photos, and the discs look like they've been sketched. So that's pretty cool. Also picked up some Disney Blu-rays lately, not 1, but 3 of them. Picked up Peter Pan. I mentioned this in an earlier video. A real Disney classic, this one. I think this is the first movie I ever saw in a theater when I was a kid. Some re-release in the late 80s, early 90s. And yeah, I watched this recently and it really holds up to this day, I must say. Very funny movie. Really great. Fun for the whole family. Great animation. Just a lot of fun. Can't go wrong with Peter Pan, in my opinion. It is a bit short though, it's like 70 minutes or something like that, so it's over quickly. But if you've got kids or you've got people with vivid imaginations and you want to watch something funny, go ahead and pick up Peter Pan, it's totally worth it. I also picked up 2 more because they were cheap. Cheap by Disney standards, I mean, they'd lowered the price. So I just could not resist. First one's Lady and the Tramp. Found this one cheaper than usual, which is not saying a lot, but I figured what the heck, one day these might go out of print entirely and I might regret not picking them up after all. So Lady and the Tramp is not my favorite Disney movie, but I've seen worse. It's okay, I guess. What I do like about Lady and the Tramp, just a wonderful artistry in this one. Great, beautiful animation, really vivid characters. But most of all, that sort of suburban look that they achieved, the sort of Victorian look in this is just fantastic. And it's nice to see that this one is in the true widescreen format, which is just incredible to watch. It just stretches out all across your screen, and if you've only seen this one in full screen, then it's definitely worth watching it on Blu-ray at least once, I think. Also picked up another one that was a bit cheaper. It's The Lion King. In a nice little diamond edition. I saw this one again recently as well, and I do not enjoy The Lion King that much. I'm gonna be totally honest with you, it's far from my favorite Disney movie. I think it's just kind of that period of time where Disney were sort of transitioning. They were sort of going from more traditional classic stories into grander things. And I can admire that about this one. It's a really grand movie. It's very well produced in that sense. It's got quite the epic scope and quite the interesting premise and setting. But I don't know, I just don't really care for the characters that much. I don't find them quite as compelling as in the older Disney films. But that's me. Never quite felt the 90s Disney films that much. But again, that's just me. One thing that was cool about this Blu-ray edition is that you get a really proper look at the stage show of The Lion King in here as well, which was very interesting. Not my favorite movie, but definitely a very, very well-made Blu-ray. Can't say anything bad about the Blu-ray itself. So there's The Lion King. Then we've got some regular movies as well. Starting off with Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I saw this one in theaters when it first came out. Saw it in 3D. Just a fun action flick. It's kind of like Wanted. Same director as Wanted, actually, I think. But yeah, just one of those action movies where you kind of sit back, turn off your brain, and just let it rip. I actually thought this was more entertaining than Steven Spielberg's Lincoln, so that tells you a lot about me, I guess. Just kicks a lot of ass, and yeah, I thought the actors were pretty good in this one as well. It's nice to see that we get a real portrait of Abe. Even though he's out slaying vampires, we get to follow his almost entire lifespan in this movie. I thought that was really interesting. And we do get a pretty epic look at the Civil War as well, plus an absolutely ridiculous sequence where he's they're on top of some stampeding horses and they use the horses to fight each other. Yeah. So that's Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Total guilty pleasure. Not a great movie, but has tons of action in it. And we've got The Cabin in the Woods. Had to pick this one up as well. I mentioned this earlier, I think, in my top 10. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was very good. Really a great film if you are a horror enthusiast. And of course, Joss Whedon knows his stuff. He's a total movie nerd. Total nerd in general, I should say. And he's done a really nice, clever nod to horror movies. But I don't think that this is like a 5-star movie. I think it's very clever, it's very well produced, but I think it's sort of so meta, so out there that it's almost like an experiment. It sort of deconstructs horror movies in such an interesting way that it sort of breaks the genre altogether. But yeah, a lot of fun, very bloody, and very, very clever. So this is a really fun movie to watch on a Saturday night, especially if you've got some savvy horror friends along your side. But you can also watch it without much prior knowledge. I think you'll pretty much recognize all the in-nods to horror. So, fun movie, but not the best of 2012 in my opinion. But a very good one. And we've got The Amazing Spider-Man. This is the 2-disc Blu-ray edition. This is the Mark Webb reboot, starring Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. It's got a nice, shiny, embossed cover here, which I just love. They really spent some time on embossing all the small little details of his suit. But anyway, I also saw this one in theaters when it first came out, and I think it's good. It's definitely a solid movie, holds together well. I like Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield. They're really great in the roles. They bring this new energy and chemistry that I think the Spider-Man films have been sorely lacking. And it's definitely got some great action scenes as well. So it's definitely a solid Spider-Man movie. It's more of a sort of drama, I guess. It's a little darker, a little heavier. I like that Peter actually gets seriously wounded in this one. But I still didn't feel like this was that much different. I didn't feel like it was a huge departure from the first films. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. You've got the whole origin story over again. It's a little bit different tonally. It's a little bit different in style. His costume's a bit different and such. A little darker, I think, both literally and story-wise. But I still didn't feel like it was an absolutely fantastic reboot. It wasn't like, wow, this is so different, this is so daring, this is so unique. But it's a great Spider-Man movie, and I think it's better than most of the Sam Raimi movies. I don't know if it's better than Spider-Man 2. I may have to go back and watch that one to be sure. But yeah, it's definitely worth seeing and definitely worth picking up on Blu-ray. There's a lot of interesting in-depth extras as well. I love those kind of 2 or 3 hour long making-of documentaries. So if you enjoy that stuff, there's plenty of that on here. And this is the only Blu-ray I got for Christmas, but that's okay because I bought all these other ones myself. The Blues Brothers. Yeah, baby. We're on a mission from God. What a classic comedy this is. This is actually one of my absolute favorite comedies. It's one of the funniest movies I think I've ever seen. If you have not seen this one yet, you totally owe it to yourself to check this out. It's a fantastic, fantastic comedy. You got John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and they're just in their prime here. It's so funny, so awesome, and it's got fantastic musical numbers from a bunch of really, really talented blues artists. So that's the Blues Brothers for you, baby. This is the Universal 100th Anniversary Blu-ray. It's got a nice shiny slipcover, but it's a little worn there. I don't know what happened there. Must have been some malfunction. But it's also they call these the augmented editions. When you buy these, if you download the app for your phone, then you can point your phone towards the cover and reveal an image, sort of 3D holographic image that pops up. I may have to do that later. I don't have the app right now, but if I do so later, then I will be sure to show you guys, because I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Some nice documentaries on this one as well. Very cool to hear from the director and the cast, and a lot of memories, good memories about John Belushi on this one. So that's the Blues Brothers, one of the funniest movies ever made. So glad I got this one for Christmas. A no-brainer. If you don't have it on DVD, go pick it up on Blu-ray for sure. Then we've got Rock of Ages, the extended edition. More songs, more dancing, more laughs. Another one I caught in theaters in 2012, and I must say I actually enjoyed this movie. Not because it's well written, not because it's particularly well acted. It actually drags on quite a bit. It's got a lot of characters. It's very paper thin story-wise. But you know, it's a musical. It's a rock musical. Takes place in 1987, the birth year of yours truly, on the Sunset Strip, of course. And it's a total hair metal, glam metal extravaganza, based on a musical, which I hear is a lot more raunchy and dark. But still, there's a bit of a Glee warning going on with the main couple in this movie. But I still thought it was really good, and I think the soundtrack is exceptional for this one. Just fantastic. I love how they've sort of meshed songs together to create medleys and all that stuff. When you come home on a Friday night and you got nothing to watch and your neighbors are out of town or something, put this Blu-ray in your player and crank up the sound to 11. Then watch it, and if you're not entertained by the end of it, then yeah, you don't have the rock and roll in your spirit, baby. Because that's what this movie's all about for me. It's all about the music, and the music sounds absolutely phenomenal. I think the surround mix on this actually sounded better than it did in theaters. That might be because I was cranking it up a little bit too loudly. I guess the star of the show, everybody knows that Tom Cruise totally owns this movie. He's fantastic as Stacey Jacks, the old drunken superstar, sort of rock god. But that man can actually sing. He can sing like something else. I was amazed. He just throws himself blindly into this role, and yeah, I was really impressed by that. I mean, this guy, Tom Cruise, could release an album without a doubt. I guess all superstars have auto-tune and vocal coaches and all that stuff, but still, pretty damn impressive, I must say. So yeah, that's Rock of Ages, just a good fun time. If you enjoy 80s rock or 80s hair metal or stuff like that, it might be worth a shot. Only if you are willing to crank it up and take it for face value. Okay, we've got some Steelbooks here as well. Some I ordered deliberately and some I just happened across while I was in the store. First up, we've got Old Boy. This is the Play.com exclusive Steelbook. Looks pretty nice. You can see the kind of shine to it there. I love the sort of neon look to the title. This is, of course, a Korean film. Probably one of the best known Korean films out there, I think. Great thriller. Absolutely exceptional movie. I've seen this one again recently. I've seen this twice now, and it's just amazing, it's just incredible. It's one of those movies that'll have your chin down on the floor. It's both funny and dark at the same time, and deals with some very, very unusual, dark, and interesting subject matter. So that's Old Boy. Not a movie for the faint of heart, perhaps, but definitely worth a watch if you enjoy thrillers. There's a remake coming out directed by Spike Lee. And yeah, all I can say about that is totally unnecessary. I don't think I'll be checking that out at all. Watch the original, make sure you get some subtitles, and just watch the original. Get the Blu-ray. You will not be disappointed. It's an absolutely extraordinary movie, and you don't need a remake to see this one. Watch the original, trust me. There's an art card for Old Boy, and there's some artwork there on the inside. Very, very creepy stuff. And we've got Resident Evil Afterlife. This has been out for quite some time. Everybody and their mothers got this one, but we don't have all the Steelbooks in Region B over here in Scandinavia. We only have the two last Resident Evil, this one and the new one. So I saw this one in the store and I figured, what the hell, I will pick this up because it is an absolutely gorgeous steelbook. Look at it. It's glossy all the way through. You got Mila in the rain there looking lovely. It just picks up all the detail and it just looks incredible. And this is also, coincidentally, this is also my favorite Resident Evil movie. Maybe the first one is better, a tad better than this one, but I think this is one of the best, definitely. Pretty cool artwork there on the inside as well. And then we've got Total Recall. This is the one I went to the store to look for. We only have one movie rental and movie store in my town, and this is the one I went to look for. And indeed, I did find it on Blu-ray and in this nice steelbook edition. This remake, I must say, this is of course a remake of the 1990 movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. I thought this was really good. I prefer this over the Arnold version, to be totally honest. I thought this was really sort of edgy, had really phenomenal action sequences, great CGI all the way through. But what I was not expecting about this one is that it actually takes its time. It actually establishes the world quite well before the action really hits. And you get this really sort of a mix of utopia and dystopia in some sense. It's really interesting and vivid sci-fi future, and I've always enjoyed stuff like that. So that's Total Recall. This contains both the original version and the director's cut, I believe. And the director's cut is quite long. It's over 2 hours long. It's like 2 hours and 10 minutes or 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. So it does kind of drag on. And there are many, many long action sequences in this movie. That's the only... I felt it needed a little bit more drama and a little bit less action. But I guess you can watch the theatrical cut if you think it's too long. But I always tend to go for the longer cuts, which in this case is a bit too long. It's just a solid action movie. Nothing too complicated, decent plot, but nothing too surprising. Just great action, nice CGI, just a fun time. If you want a modern, well-made action movie, just go check out Total Recall. Artwork on the inside as well. Okay, 2 Blu-ray discs. And I couldn't resist. I had to pick up one more dumb action film in another beautiful steelbook edition. Battleship, yes sir. I have this as my 10th best Blu-ray of 2012, and it sure is pretty phenomenal. This is an absolutely incredible steelbook. As you can see, it's been embossed with the title here, and it's sort of debossed here, just so it can stand out a little bit more. There's the one of the alien ships. I believe there's 4 of them, and they named them after the Beatles. So maybe that's Ringo, or I don't know, which one's the red one? Ringo or Paul or John? I don't know. Can't tell them apart, but yeah. There's the side of the thing, and there's the back artwork. Pretty awesome. This movie is loud and dumb and fun. It's totally like a Transformers movie from Michael Bay. If you enjoyed any of the Transformers movies, then you will enjoy this one. I can damn near guarantee it. It's exactly the same kind of movie. It's got that same hoo-ah, militaristic United States craziness, patriotic stuff, military porn, I guess you might say. It's got the same absolutely incredible CGI work with these massive, intricate monsters. It's even got the same like camera lenses and the same camera filters. I mean, I could have sworn this was directed by Michael Bay, but it's a guy called Peter Berg who directed this movie. Funnily enough, seeing the extras for this movie, Peter Berg does not come across as a genius, let's put it that way. But he knows how to make an epic action movie, and that's what this is. Fun popcorn movie. It's loud, it's huge, it's explosive. Watch it on the biggest TV screen or projector screen or whatever imaginable. Crank up the sound and turn off your brain, and you will not be disappointed. It's got Rihanna, it's like got Alexander Skarsgård running around in there, but you don't see this kind of movie for the acting. You watch it for the enormous action sequences, and it's got a lot of those, and they are pretty incredible. So I enjoyed Battleship for what it is, and I hope most people won't take it too seriously. If you don't like these kind of films, just avoid it. But if you do, then you should be in action heaven. There's some artwork in here as well. There you go, Rihanna and Taylor Kitsch. Taylor Kitsch. Okay, so that was it for the regular Blu-rays. Now it's time to get on to the Arrow video stuff. I went totally bonkers and ordered basically every Arrow video movie I ever wanted in one go, because I tend to do that. I don't spread them out, I just kind of go for all at once. So the only movie I'm expecting now is Black Sunday, which I pre-ordered. Comes out in February. So this is pretty much my entire Arrow video Blu-ray collection. Most of you guys will already have seen these, or most of you horror guys will already have these, but I figured I would run through them just the same because they are absolutely incredible. First up is Zombie Flesh Eaters from Lucio Fulci. A great classic zombie movie from Italy from the heyday of 78-79. Came out right after Dawn of the Dead. And I prefer this one to Dawn of the Dead. I think it's much better, actually. Much better paced. It's a lot more fun, and it doesn't take itself quite as seriously as Dawn of the Dead does. But man, look at this steelbook here. It's incredible what they've done here. It's orange all the way through. Very, very interesting choice of color. And you've got the New York skyline there. Twin Towers intact. You got your heroes, and you've got a zombie munching on flesh. In this movie, they come to an island in, what is it, Haiti? Something like that. And it's got two infamous sequences. One, of course, is when the zombie battles a shark. The zombie takes a bite out of the shark, and the shark takes a bite out of the zombie. And this is no animatronic little shark. This is a real tiger shark, I believe, or something like that. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. Pretty memorable sequence. The other one is, of course, the woman who gets a splinter jammed into her eyeball in a very, very slow, excruciating scene. Just incredible stuff for horror fans, I must say. Lucio Fulci was the king of squirm. He knew how to make people squirm, for sure. Arrow Video are just absolutely incredible. It's a company based in the UK, and they love horror movies. They love classic horror movies. They love sleaze. They love slashers, exploitation, kung fu movies, you name it. They love cult films, period. So they've given these films the deluxe treatment for sure. We've got 2 whole Blu-ray discs here. You've got the movie's been restored in a beautiful Blu-ray transfer. It just looks incredible from start to finish. Got this booklet here with essays about the movie. You've got information, interviews with the cast and crew. I mean, they really went all out here. You've also got, as in most of their releases, a full-sized poster here, the poster artwork. I'm going to throw it up on screen right now. It's 2-sided, so one side is this artwork and one side is this artwork. So that's pretty phenomenal. So you can throw this up on your wall if you want to. And then you've got this card with some of the other incredible Arrow Video releases. I'm totally plugging Arrow Video now, but I'm telling you guys, if you're a horror fan and you want to start with the classics, go to arrowvideo.co.uk and just go nuts. Just be sure to check the region coding, because they are not always region free. Some of them are indeed region 2 or region B locked. So you can see there's so much stuff in here that the clasp actually came loose at the top. That's when you know that a Blu-ray is stuffed to the brim. So, Zombie Flesh Eaters, incredible Blu-ray. Can't say enough good things about it. Just a classic movie, lots of fun. Also from Arrow Video is the Lady Snowblood 2-pack. This contains both Lady Snowblood and Lady Snowblood Love Song of Vengeance in another incredibly beautiful steelbook edition. It's kind of got the yellow color going for it. It's of course very reminiscent of Kill Bill, which was directly inspired by this film. Quentin Tarantino has definitely been influenced by this film, there is no doubt. This does contain both films on one Blu-ray disc, and I have not been able to check them out just yet, but I'm pretty sure they will look good. I will watch them soon. It's got some artwork here too. You got an art card, more releases from Arrow Video. Always include one of those, very cool. And again, fantastic booklet. Just look at this stuff. Again, information, interviews, in depth. As you can see, this one is region B locked, I believe. So again, be careful with that stuff, because if you don't have region free Blu-ray player, then you might get screwed, unfortunately. So that's Lady Snowblood and Lady Snowblood 2, Love Song of Vengeance. Very cool steelbook. And then I picked up some of their Other titles, of course, I'm sure you've seen these before. Basically every hardcore horror fan has got these in his or her collection already. I picked up The Beyond, another one from Lucio Fulci. This is probably my favorite. Oh man, it's kind of worn here. Damn it. Anyway, this is probably my favorite Lucio Fulci movie I've seen so far. Just an absolutely incredible movie. It's so random, so much fun, so weird, so gory. It's got everything, this movie. And the soundtrack is incredible. And this Blu-ray edition is absolutely incredible. This is the best Blu-ray edition I think Arrow Video has ever put out. At least the best one I've ever come across. Everything about this is incredible. It's so jam-packed with stuff. To begin with, there's so much physical stuff in here that it's actually bulging. You can hardly contain all the stuff. You got 4 different sleeves of artwork, which you can choose between, as on most of these. Open it up, and you've got 2 discs, jam-packed with stuff, and of course 2 more sleeves of artwork on the inside. Got full-sized poster with 2 sides of artwork, which look like this and this. Incredible stuff. And you've got this incredibly thick booklet with essays and inspirations and interviews and all the stuff you could ever want. Again, beyond that, you've got this Arrow Video film catalog, which is incredible to browse through. I just love these things. You can see the rest of their releases and plan your future purchases. The movie itself, I watched this just a few nights ago. The movie looks and sounds so amazing. They've done such a job on this. They've restored this movie back to absolutely pristine quality. The black levels, the detail, everything about it looks absolutely incredible. And it's got a 5.1 surround mix, I believe. Yeah, English 5.1 DTS HD Master Audio. And you've got the original English and Italian mono mixes on here as well. But I listened to it in English in 5.1 and it was incredible. Such a great surround mix. You know, the bass is rumbling, the surrounds are active. It was incredible. I was not expecting it to sound or look that good. So this Blu-ray release comes absolutely highly recommended. Fantastic movie, just a great Blu-ray release in every regard. And as you can see in the bottom there, it is indeed region free. So this is totally worth every single dime you pay for it. Fantastic Blu-ray, can't recommend this enough. Also picked up Maniac Cop, starring Bruce Campbell, Tom Atkins, and who else was in this one? Yeah, Richard Roundtree, I think, is in this one as well. Great little slasher movie. This is from the director that made Maniac, William Lustig. Lustig actually means funny in Swedish, so William Funny. But yeah, Maniac Cop is a great slasher film. It's kind of part cop thriller, part slasher movie, part action movie. Just one of those great low-budget romps. And Bruce Campbell is just so phenomenal in this movie. His acting is just way out there. I mean, the guy should win an Academy Award. He's so awesome. So this is a real cult favorite. Just a lot of fun if you enjoy slasher movies or 80s movies. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Maniac Cop. Can't go wrong with this one. Just a lot of fun. And again, Arrow Video have done a great job with this release. Picked up another Lucio Fulci film, House by the Cemetery. I'd never seen this one before, and I can't say this is my favorite. This is probably my least favorite Lucio Fulci film now that I've seen it. But again, Arrow Video have gone all out, and it's a very cool release. If you're gonna enjoy it, I guess you might enjoy it most in this release. I found it to be a bit boring. It does have some nice, nasty kills going on, and yeah, the villain in this one, Dr. Freudstein, of all names, get it? Freud, Frankenstein. He looks like a dried up turd, and yeah, he lurches around the basement of this house for a good long while before he appears in the end. But it does have, it's a cult favorite, does have a pretty cool soundtrack and some very nice bloody kills. I guess you can't go wrong if you enjoy old Italian cult classics. There's House by the Cemetery. So you can see, I'm not going to open up all of these. It would just take way too long. But go to Arrow Video's website. Check them out one by one because they're definitely worth looking at. And last but not least, from Lucio Fulci, we've got City of the Living Dead, another one, part of the same old trilogy. Yeah, City of the Living Dead is somewhere in the middle for me. It's a totally bizarre movie, but it does have a lot of cool, interesting things going on for it. Priests hung up, women vomiting sheep intestines, all that good stuff. So that's City of the Living Dead for you. Again, just absolutely incredible Arrow Video release. Can't recommend it highly enough. I can't see any region coding on this one, so I'm not quite sure what it is. But yeah, City of the Living Dead is it's okay. It's enjoyable. It's so bizarre though. It's so incredibly bizarre, this one, but it's fun. Just a slice of 70s gore, cheese, whatever you want to call it. So haven't seen this one in a while. Need to revisit this one pretty soon. I think should be fun. We've got a classic from Dario Argento, Deep Red, also known as Profondo Rosso. This is regarded by many to be his ultimate masterpiece. I think Suspiria is also way up there. But yeah, I watched this one some time ago, and I did enjoy it. It is a very, very well-constructed movie, no doubt about that. It's sort of like the ultimate giallo in the heyday of Italian giallos, Italian thrillers, really whodunits with extreme violence. And they usually feature repressed memories and killers in black leather gloves as well. So that's pretty typical of Argento in particular. Incredible artwork on all of these, I must say. I love the new artwork in particular. It's really edgy, really sexy, very cool. Deep Red, it does drag on a little bit at times. It's a little bit long, but it's really stylish. It's very violent, and it's an incredibly well plotted thriller. So I was surprised and delighted the first time I saw it, because I was not expecting that twist ending. I do understand why this one is regarded as something of a masterpiece. I don't know if I would go so far as to call it a masterpiece, but it's definitely a very, very well made film. I know there have been other Blu-ray releases of this one as well, but I went for this one. I guess if you want to get nitpicky, maybe the video transfer isn't perfect, but it's an Arrow Video release, and they always go all out in every regard. So I'm very, very happy with this one. Picked up 4 DVDs as well while I was on my Arrow Video shopping spree. Slaughter High. This is a slasher classic, total low budget slasher fest. Just the most sort of dumb, typical, enjoyable popcorn slasher movie you could ever want to see. No fantastic acting, no clever plotting, nothing like that. It's just about a nerd who gets some acid dumped on his face. He lures all the jocks to a house for a reunion many years later, and yeah, he comes out with his jester mask and starts to off them in very inventive and unusual ways. So that's Slaughter High in a nutshell for you. It's got a soundtrack by Harry Manfredini, no less. This one comes with a booklet where they actually interviewed Harry Manfredini. Funnily enough, they talk more about Friday the 13th in the booklet than they do about Slaughter High. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, just a fun slasher flick. This is like the definition of a low-budget slasher. No surprises, just a lot of fun. Throw it on a Saturday night if you're a horror fan. And yeah, this one also has reversible artwork. But come on, this cover's amazing. I also really love how the Arrow Video DVDs are all white all the way through. They got white covers. That seems like such an odd choice for these dark cult horror movies, but it really works. It's really eye-popping, and you never forget an Arrow Video release when you've looked at it. So I think that's an inspired choice. Go with white, because nobody will ever forget it. Slaughter High. Awesome movie. Lots of fun. Okay guys, so I have 3 more Arrow Video DVDs for you. Two Evil Eyes by George A. Romero and Dario Argento. 2 masterful horror directors, of course. This one's based on 2 different stories by Edgar Allan Poe originally. Now don't get frightened. These are not going to be like 19th century stories or anything. These are modern horror episodes. But first one, directed by George A. Romero, is The Facts in the Case of Mr. Voldemort, I believe it's called. stars Adrian Barbeau, and it's very interesting. It's about an old man who has been hypnotized to leave all his money to this couple that's deceiving him while he's passing away. But he gets stuck somewhere between this side and death the other side. And lots of horrible things start happening. So that was pretty cool. Pretty spooky stuff there. A little bit cheesy, but very cool. Definitely worth a watch. And then we've got The Black Cat by Dario Argento, starring Harvey Keitel. It's about a man who hates cats for some reason. His girlfriend gets a cat, and things soon turn very bloody, very grisly. This one was kind of bizarre. Didn't really make much sense. So it becomes a little bit unintentionally comedic. That is The Black Cat. Well worth watching though. But these were split up. They are not one long movie. They are split up into two parts, so you have to select them from the menu. And I have absolutely no idea why they went with that. But some nice blood in this one, some very cool songs, and fun movie, not the best in the world. Worth checking out if you're a horror fan. And we got Pieces. This is a Spanish slasher movie. Very nice, incredibly grisly stuff. You can tell it's sort of South European. It's got that very, very South European flavor to it, almost Italian, but it's still a slasher movie. But it's a very bizarre slasher movie, complete with hysterical dubbing and all that stuff. But the blood does run red all over this movie. So Pieces does have some very, very memorable death sequences, so that's the reason to see it for sure. Very low budget stuff, very bloody. If you like Italian or Spanish language horror movies, then check out Pieces for certain. And last but definitely not least, we've got Christmas Evil, aka You Better Watch Out. This is a Christmas horror movie. It's one of the, I think, lesser known Christmas horror movies perhaps. Black Christmas is of course very famous, and Silent Night, Deadly Night is somewhat famous. But Christmas Evil, you don't hear a lot of it, but it's a good one for sure. It's kind of like Maniac, if Maniac was a Christmas movie. It's actually about a little boy who is traumatized when he sees Santa being naughty with his mother. So he grows up 40 years later. He's a disgruntled toy factory worker, and he slowly begins to lose it. He goes out in a Santa Claus outfit. And actually, the ironic thing about this movie is he actually tries to sort of do good. He treats children well. He gives presents to special needs children, steals them from his job, all that stuff. So there is this kind of perfect morality to this movie. There's this kind of crazy Christmas morality thing going on with this. So it's hard not to enjoy it despite the grisly subject matter. Christmas Evil is definitely worth a watch if you're into Christmas movies, horror movies. Just bizarre, fun, very, very special kind of movie. And it actually has a lot more, it's more psychological than scary. It's not a pure slasher movie. It's more about sort of a warped mind. It's also got a super duper bizarre ending, so kudos for that. Okay, that was all for this time. I'm gonna take a break for a while. I will be sharing Black Sunday when that one arrives, but I don't think I'll be buying tons of Blu-rays in the upcoming months. But I hope I'll be sharing some fun videos with you just the same. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.